So, master perfumer Olivier Cresp, I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly, is the nose behind iconic and popular fragrances like this one, and like all of these. So, if he puts his nose and puts his name on something else, we may want to pay attention. I've got a new fragrance, a new brand that is launching here in the US that I'm honored to have a first impression of. And so we're going to talk about it. Stick around. All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, and you are watching Smell Goods. I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit as we talk through, discuss more of the fragrances in my collection, as well as document my fragrance journey. If this is your first time here, definitely appreciate you stopping through. Make sure it's not your last time by simply doing the following: hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications, and then meet me in the comments along with the rest of the Smell Good squad, who is back for another video. Appreciate y'all coming through as well. As mentioned, I've been afforded the opportunity to put nose on something that is coming from, first of all, it has as far as its master perfumer associated with the house, Olivier Cresp, who is, as mentioned, he's essentially kind of a big deal in this industry. He's responsible for, I think when I looked, at least 400 fragrances he has played a part in. So he's kind of a big deal. He kind of knows what he's doing. He's put out some stuff that I've talked about on this channel, and you probably even have in your collection, or you may even have your wife, your girlfriend, whomever, that also has some of the things in their collection as well. So this brand is actually on its way to being introduced into the US market. And so shout out to Corey over at Black Aroma for the opportunity to put nose on this, to even discuss this with you all as they're finalizing their push to bring this from Croatia, and I'm assuming from Europe, over into the United States. So definitely something that this may be something to kind of the introductory of something that could be bigger in the United States as a brand that is producing something, right? Now, as far as the fragrance we're talking about, or the house, I should say, is Éveilleur. I hope I pronounced that right. I didn't take French in high school. I took Spanish for most of grade school, even up through most of high school. So that's where my foreign language skills went, even though right now, yeah, they're not there. But I think it's pronounced Éveilleur, right? And one of you that took French, y'all can correct me or tell me how close I got. As far as the presentation, there is a sleeve that comes on it. I don't know where I put that right there, but this is the box that it comes in. And then within the box, this is the bottle that comes out. This is Discover Me by Éveilleur. And as far as the bottle, you've got this green bottle. Inside the box, we'll just pull this open real quick. Inside the box, there is something on the inside that simply says, let's show you that there. Simply says the heartbeat of Croatian coast. So as I may have mentioned, not sure, this is a Croatian brand. And so they are, again, making their push into the US market. And they're inspired by the Croatian coast. So a lot of your fragrances and stuff, as far as different brands, they may be inspired by different things. So theirs is the Croatian coast. So we should see some of those things come out in their fragrances ideally, right? As far as the bottle, see the bottle there, again, Discover Me, spelled DSCVR ME. And then you've got up top, you've got, as far as the cap, you have their logo, which is like a little butterfly there. And cap itself is magnetic. Now, this is a unisex fragrance that to me leans it a little more masculine. I got some other decants or samples from them. Got the other one that was Not So Innocent, and then the other one, which was, I think it was called I Am. I may come back and just kind of talk about those as a first impression as well. But we're going to talk about this Discover Me. This one I think leans a little more masculine, but it definitely is a unisex fragrance. It's not overly masculine. It's not extremely woody or anything of that nature. Let's get the cap off. And in the air, you get the Nice atomizer, not a pressurized atomizer, but a good atomizer nonetheless, kicks out. And in the air, you get this fresh, minty, salty, watery accord, salty, watery vibe kind of feel with this. So we'll get it on skin as well. Now, again, full transparency, I have been, testing this or spraying it out. I haven't really done a full on how long does it last, all that fun stuff, but I did just kind of see how it played off of skin. So I could at least speak to something as far as to dry down, because again, this is pretty much a first impression. As of the filming of this, I'm not sure if it's fully available just yet. I will drop the link to their website in the description. So if you want to check it out and see and be, kind of give some more information, you can do that. Now, again, initially you get fresh, you get minty, you get a little salty, watery, which to me, the way I would describe this is coastal, right? When I think about water, when I think about even just fragrances that are centered around water, there's a couple of categories that I might put them into. One is your beach vibes, right? They put you in this place of sand, beach balls, bikinis, swim trunks, right? You get that beach kind of vibe to it. The other one is more middle of the ocean, right? Where you are more in, you're off in a yacht somewhere. You are in the middle of the ocean. There's, sharks and whales and whatever else swimming around you. That's another category. But to me, this fits in coastal. When I say coastal to me is that mashup, as it were, between land and civilization and foliage and whatnot and water. So this is kind of where almost like the forest or the garden, all of those things kind of come up against land, right? There's some areas that are your beach areas. There's some areas where people will live on, off of the coast, but there's not necessarily a beach there, right? That's kind of how I would kind of position this as far as this feels coastal. Now, because you get the freshness of the eucalyptus there, you get the mintiness there as well, but then the salty, watery accords come in there. But then when this dries down, you do get some more of the woods that kind of there to kind of help to not so much balance this out, but to provide a little solidness or a little heft to this. Okay. Going through the notes of this, and the way that they're put on their website, I'll kind of help make sense of them. But on the website, it's bergamot, Italy, fraction essence, which is bergamot, right? Eucalyptus buds, everlasting absolute in the top, and everlasting absolute is immortelle. And then heart notes are the salty, watery accord, which, yes, jasmine absolute, and then lentisk absolute MD, which is mastic, I think, wood or something like that, is some kind of, I want to say it's a kind of wood. I can't remember exactly. And then in the bottom notes, you've got ambrox, musks, and oak moss, right? So again, that oak moss, those musks, and that ambrox is definitely trying to help to almost provide a little of the one explosion off of you, but also helps to kind of ground this, as it were. This this is not necessarily a room filler or room shifter, but it is a nice scent bubble, a nice area around you. I couldn't speak again to longevity. I couldn't speak to full-on scent bubble and all those fun things. I can tell you that this is a nice smelling scent. This is something that definitely works for the spring, definitely works for the summer, and for me, feels more at home in the daytime. This is not something I would necessarily wear in the evening, unless it was going to be a spring evening and centered around something along maybe the coast or something like that, or kind of a early white party, as it were, right? That's where this might feel at home. This is definitely not going to be a full-on middle of the summer type of evening fragrance, but it will definitely feel very much at home during the day. So as we're getting closer to spring and summer, I'll probably spend a little more time with this and really come back and give you a full-on impression, full-on review of it. But for right now, I'm just, again, honored that I was able to put nose on it, honored that I was able to bring this to you all, and you all get an opportunity to, again, hear about something that you might not have otherwise heard about, right? There is so much out there as far as fragrances. There are so many things that we can put our nose on. And so my joy in this is that I have the opportunity to put nose on a variety of things that are just have turned out to be phenomenal. So again, shout out to you as the audience, because these opportunities would not be possible without you watching, without you subscribing, without you commenting, all those fun things. But as far as, again, just this house, just this brand, Éveilleur, yeah, I think I got it. Discover Me. And again, the nose behind this is Olivier Cresp, who has done some phenomenal stuff. And this is another one that I think is going to be very well. It's a nice one that I'm definitely, off of my first initial impression, I'm digging, right? Definitely something that, again, not your typical, let me even say this. This past summer, I was imaginationed out. I'm going to just say this, and I'm not trying to compare the two or cause beef or anything of that nature, but it's always nice to get something that kind of cuts against the grain, that kind of brings a new smell to the environment, brings a new something to the environment. And this is definitely something that I think, you know, for me, is something that kind of shifts it a little, right? Again, imagination's great, but I got imaginationed out this past summer. I'm looking forward to this next next spring and summer with some other fragrances that kind of shift the game a little. And this is one that's probably going to be on the radar, and definitely going to be something I'll check out then. All right. That's it. Again, do me the favor. If you have not already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notification, share, meet me in the comments, check out a video I've got for you here, and then we'll see you next video. Be blessed. Peace, y'all.